Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Steve Karam on the Pacejet side, joined by Doug Greenup here with Minisoft. Appreciate everybody joining here, our webinar discussion on Acumatica shipping automation with Pacejet and Minisoft. So for today's presentation, we are going to be talking just a little bit about Pacejet, who we are. Just a real quick overview in terms of what Pacejet does for Acumatica users. But the majority of our time is going to be spent talking about both Pacejet and Minisoft, how we work together, how we integrate together, ultimately to really deliver supply chain shipping execution for our customers. Then we'll talk just a bit about some of the specific benefits that our customers typically see by partnering with both Pacejet and Minisoft. We're going to open things up for a little bit of Q&A here at the end, so we'll save 5 or 10 minutes if there's any questions from the group. But all in all, I think we can expect maybe 30, 35 minutes total time. So we'll save those questions for the end and make sure we get everything answered here. So with that in mind, we're going to start by talking, as I mentioned, a little bit about who we are here at Pacejet and what we do. So for those of you who have been on a Pacejet webinar or are familiar with Pacejet, you've probably heard us say the phrase fully connected shipping before. But for those of you who aren't familiar, Pacejet is a cloud-based multi-carrier shipping platform. The primary goal of Pacejet and what we aim to provide for our customers is really fully connected shipping. And what that means to us is really giving our customers the ability to manage a variety of different shipping scenarios from a variety of different order channels that are going to a number of different destinations with a single workflow. We want to provide solid integrations, not just to Acumatica, but to the carriers that our customers are working with, and make sure that the correct information is being passed to those carriers, back into Acumatica, and provide one single workflow for a variety of different purposes. We do that through a number of different ways. We've got RESTful APIs, we've got our connections, our certified integration to Acumatica. We've got our carrier network, which we'll go into in a little bit more detail here down the line, but right now it's sitting at just under 70 different carriers. Pacejet provides a variety of different functionalities and capabilities around the packaging side of things, allowing customers not just to pack one box that is being sent to a customer location, but pack multiple boxes on multiple pallets that may be going out to a wholesale distributor or retail store. And then obviously on the shipping side of things, Pacejet, we are a shipping platform. So we're going to execute the shipments with the carriers. Those are real-time API connections. We're going to generate tracking information, your Pacejet shipping documents, and then allow you to track things, report on shipping spend, make sure that you can accurately see exactly what you're spending, exactly what kind of performance you're getting with the different carriers that our customers might be. And again, we're really focusing on things, I know I mentioned quickly what Pacejet does, but for today's purposes, what we're really focusing on is how Pacejet and Minisoft work together to provide a really unmatched level of automation for our customers. And we are calling it for today best-in-class supply chain execution, because it's not just shipping with Pacejet and Minisoft. We're really talking about the shipping execution side and automating the different documents that are going to be available. And so first thing I want to touch on here is really just how Pacejet and Minisoft expand Acumatica. You can see here, we've got some blue boxes and some orange boxes. For those of you that know Acumatica, obviously it is an ERP. So primary functions that you can think of are surrounding order management, invoicing, WMS, picking, purchases, customer records, all sorts of different functions that are really designated to be within kind of your core functionality of an ERP. When you think about what Pacejet and Minisoft add on to Acumatica, on the Pacejet side of things, like we just talked about, you're getting your domestic, international shipping, parcel, freight, 3PL broker shipments, you're getting manifests, you're getting exports, rate shopping from multiple points integrated with Acumatica. And then when you add Minisoft, our integration to Pacejet and Acumatica, you're getting a variety of different dropship documents, a full document library, which I'm going to stop here. Doug, do you want to add anything to this? Talk a little bit.
Well, thank you, Steve, and welcome everyone to this Pacejet Minisoft webinar on supply chain execution. Yeah, so Minisoft is a software company that has been involved in shipping execution and supply chain execution for many, many years. And as we'll see in the slides that follow, we've invested very, very heavily in building a off-the-shelf document label generation solution. So you'll see we have hundreds, actually thousands, of pre-designed, pre-built packing lists, bills of lading, compliancy labels, UCC 128, GS 128 labels, in ready-to-use libraries, making it very easy to get into production quickly with critical documents, whether it's drop shipping for Amazon, or it's drop shipping for Macy's, or it's drop shipping for Walmart, or it's connecting to an Amazon direct seller marketplace. We have a solution for all of those things.
Thanks, Doug. Yeah, and so what we'll do here now is I want to touch really quickly on the Pacejet carrier network, and then we're going to get into some of the specific forms, some of the specific functions that Minisoft adds to the Pacejet shipping functionality. So starting with Pacejet here, when we talked about adding functionality to Acumatica, the core functionality that Pacejet offers is really within our carrier network. And it's sitting at, like I mentioned, just under 70 different carriers at this point. LTL carriers, parcel carriers, 3PL brokers, variety of different providers out there. If we're talking regional, if we're talking large national carriers, you name it, Pacejet has direct API integrations to those carriers. And I think it's always important to note that our integrations are live API integration. We are not using tariff table loads. We are not using rate tables that need to be manually uploaded or reloaded whenever a customer negotiates their rates. Pacejet, maintaining our own network, maintaining the certifications with those carriers means that anytime one of our customers renegotiate rates or adds a certain tariff to their particular negotiated accounts, their rates are automatically updated in Pacejet. There is no need to manually update, no need to manually change things. And so one of the big reasons that we have customers who look at Pacejet and ultimately decide to use Pacejet is because of our carrier network and our ability to automatically tender out shipments with those carriers and generate the tracking information. When we think about most customers that are looking at Pacejet, when we get asked questions about how do we create certain documents, how do we generate UCC 128 labels or custom packing slips or customer specific documents, this is really where we bring Minisoft in. And so I'm going to flip things over to Doug, and he's going to talk a little bit about the specific forms that they can generate and some of the functionality that they can add to Pacejet integrated with Acumatica.
Well, thanks, Steve. And thank you again, everybody, for attending. So Minisoft's eForms is a software tool, Java actually software tool, that is Acumatica certified, as is Pacejet, of course. It is a software application that's designed to deal with all of the requirements beyond the shipping label. eForms is a single tool to the answer for any warehouse, in-store, supply chain document requirement. So once Pacejet is done its job, and it does a great job of rate shopping and generating a proper shipping label for whatever carrier it is you're going to be using to ship that particular order, eForms goes to work to generate whatever documents or labels that are required in addition to the shipping label. So this could be as simple as a direct-to-consumer packing list, but it could be a lot more. Perhaps you have multiple brands and would like a different logo printed. Perhaps other brand reinforcement as well, in addition to the logo. We can handle that. Perhaps you'd like to add some promotional messaging, maybe web discounts, product offers, promote new brands. The idea is taking advantage of that shipment to drive your customers back to websites for more buying, right? More shopping. Web discounts and promotional offers can make that happen, and eForms can be used to generate those dynamically. eForms excels really in generating all of these kinds of direct-to-consumer documents, but we also do a wonderful job of generating dropship compliancy documents, as we'll see in a couple slides in. So eForms can be used to create a variety of price ticket labels, product labels, RFID tags and labels, GS1128 labels, really any kind of thermal label beyond the shipping label. Our laser form capability allows us to generate packing lists, bills of lading, commercial invoices, purchase orders, those kinds of documents. And we mentioned earlier that we have hundreds, thousands really, of predefined forms and label templates, really for all of these kinds of labels and laser forms. We also have a ability to generate digital output. So not just generate barcode labels, not just generate laser forms, but also the ability to generate highly branded HTML emails to let your customers know that an order shipped. We can capture the tracking information from Pacejet and can incorporate that into the body of the email. The customer can click on that link to check on the status of their particular shipment. And of course, we can also let customers know that an order has arrived. Now, we can do this via email, and we can also do this via text. So we support SMS and MMS texting, and is an excellent way to let your customer know that their product has arrived right to their cell phone. And again, both Pacejet and Minisoft eForms are Acumatica certified applications. So in the area of barcoding, lots of requirements, and this screen just lists a few. We have the ability to generate any one-dimensional, two-dimensional barcoding. We support a variety of thermal printers, so we're very agnostic that way. So if you've got Zebra printers, hey, that's great, but you might have Intermec, Datamax, Sato, Toshiba, Monarch, Avery. There's a lot of thermal printers in the world. Know that we can generate barcode labels off of any of those types of printers, and we support auto-apply systems as well. Use eForms to generate product labels. The GS1128 is a really significant requirement, and as I mentioned earlier, we have really over 100 now of these compliancy labels in our template library, already built to the particular retailer specification. Use us to build price tickets and more. With the laser, before I get into laser, I did mention 100-plus label templates. Here's a few examples of those GS1128 compliancy labels. And as many of you on the call know, you can get into a little trouble with your retail partner if you are not generating this particular label to their retail specifications. And this happens to be some examples for Wayfair, Target, and Menards. There are a lot of interesting consumables, forms in the world today. This happens to be a very interesting class of document. eForms does a really nice job of orchestrating the matching of a shipping label generated out of Pacejet and marrying it with packing list information that could come out of a warehouse system, ERP system, Acumatica in this case. These are called collates. They're multifunction documents that will generate on a single printer, laser, packing list, shipping label, perhaps a prepaid return label, all generated together, along with instructions perhaps on the back of the document as well. These are documents known as duplex pack-slip labels. Very interesting documents. Again, the idea behind it is everything prints together in a single label, in this case, shipping label from our friends at Pacejet, and a packing list on the back. Again, everything together on a single printer. The beauty of this label is there's 100% order match. So the shipping label and the packing list print together. The label can either be printed on a thermal printer and or a laser printer. But again, everything together, truly save on labor. If you're shipping today with a plastic pouch generated off of, and a packing list generated off a laser printer, and a Zebra printer generating a thermal label, and you've got a human being manually matching those. Imagine, if you will, that a single label could be printed that would eliminate that plastic pouch, eliminate that laser printer, for instance, and just print a single two-sided label off a thermal printer. It's a great value proposition, and it is called the duplex pack slip label. The duplex pack slip labels can come in a lot of sizes, and here's an example of some additional use cases where eForms is being asked to print packing or picking information on the label itself. In this case, you see the picking information below the shipping label, or to be able to print Prop 65 warnings on the document itself. And in the right, you see where this is printed underneath the label. Again, very unique labels where everything prints together. Our dropship library. Very exciting. This is where Minisoft has done the work, has built each packing list to the unique specifications of the retailer, and we actively maintain this library. This library is available for laser forms, and it's also available for thermal labels. So on the far right, we have some 4x6 examples of the Home Depot dropship, the Costco dropship, Kind Bar dropship, and all those cases formatted for 4x6 labeling. We have over 350 of these dropship templates, and it's growing in our library, available for both 8.5 by 11 as well as 4x6 formats. The documents themselves are, as I mentioned, actively maintained, and any of these can be generated out of Acumatica. We do have a list of all of the dropship packing lists in our library, as well as a list of all of the GS1 128 compliancy labels in our library, and also some of the other compliancy documents in our template library. At the end of this presentation, there will be contact information for both Pacejet and for Minisoft. Please reach out to us, and we would be happy to send you a PDF of the documents that are available in our library. In addition to generating dropship documents, compliancy labels, and other kinds of laser forms and labels, we do have the ability to generate HTML-type emailing. I mentioned that earlier in the discussion. This is an example of an entire set of emails that could be generated as part of the business process by our tool, our eForms tool. In this case, an order acknowledgement, thanking the customer for their order, a shipping notification letting the customer know that the order shipped with order tracking information in the body of the email, and then a delivery confirmation letting the customer know that the order has been delivered. It is full HTML with your branding, promotional messaging, and of course the order tracking information provided to us by Pacejet, incorporated into the body of the email. Click at any point to check on the status of your order. Again, this is a part of the eForms tool and is used by our customers to keep in touch with their customers at every step of a shipment. Also a part of the solution, and I must say this is a very common ask use case, are connectors to the marketplaces. Many drop shippers today are participating in the Amazon direct seller marketplace, Vendor Central, in the Walmart and the Overstock and eBay marketplaces. The eForms solution has connectivity to those marketplaces. The idea behind this is to eliminate the need to manually log in to collect your orders from a particular marketplace, and to do that from time to time throughout the day. Our connector automates the collection of the orders from the marketplace. Our product will generate the appropriate dropship documents for that marketplace and inform the marketplace that the order shipped with order tracking information. All of it automated, all of it automatic. We have connectivity to most of the major seller marketplaces, including the ones, not only the ones listed here, but also Target, which has a brand new direct seller marketplace, and also Shopify. So Steve, I'll pass back to you a little bit on the workflow, and then we can talk. Yep.
Perfect. Thanks, Doug. Yeah, so we've talked a little bit about Pacejet. We've talked about Minisoft. We figured we could show you a little bit about how this works together. Now, like Doug mentioned, if anybody has questions, if anybody actually wants to see demos of either Pacejet or Minisoft, talk about things in more detail, feel free to reach out. We'll have contact information after this. But wanted to show just a sample workflow of Pacejet and Minisoft integrated with Acumatica. So on the Pacejet side of things, if we think about your start to finish processes, Pacejet is really integrated from two primary points. You've got the sales quote, sales order in Acumatica. What Pacejet is going to do is provide users the ability to rate shop with all of those 70 carriers in the Pacejet carrier network. So whether you want parcel rates, LTL freight rates, or rates from brokers, Pacejet allows customers the ability to get that information without leaving the Acumatica sales order. Picking is going to take place, whether it's Acumatica native or Acumatica WMS, if you're using a third party or a WMS vendor. And then what's going to happen on the shipping side of things is as soon as the Acumatica shipment is created, it's really up to our customers how they want to pack. With our integration, you can pack in Acumatica or you can pack in Pacejet. I would say that most Pacejet users do end up packing in Pacejet. So they're going to send that Acumatica shipping information to Pacejet, where they're then going to pack, rate shop if they need to on the backside. So if they need to get a rate from the warehouse, that is doable as well. Ultimately, what happens with Pacejet is our customers are going to book the transaction. They're going to tender the shipment with the carrier. Pacejet's going to generate our standard shipping documents, your Pacejet shipping labels. And one of the nice pieces about this is that as soon as Pacejet has tendered the shipment with the carrier, we've gotten the tracking information and we've generated the Pacejet shipping documents, Minisoft picks things up from there. And I'll let Doug talk to that.
Well, right, exactly. And thank you, Steve. And so what we'll do is we'll take that Pacejet shipping label, and then we'll make any number of decisions, and these are all definable. Any number of decisions on what we do with what we've captured. So, are we going to generate? Is this going to be a dropship order? Are we going to generate a dropship packing list? Is this going to require a promotional messaging or some kind of brand reinforcement? Because it's a direct-to-consumer order? Is this a document that we need to generate bilingual in French-English, for instance, because it's shipping to Canada? Is this a document that is going to require some compliancy labeling as well? Is there an email that we'd like to spawn, kind of as we talked to earlier, that to let a customer know that the order has shipped? All of these kinds of business processes, all of these kinds of actions, and there can be multiple actions, are handled by our tool. It is a part of the completion of the order.
Yeah, and once Minisoft runs through it and generates the relevant documents based on the order type or based on the logic that is put into place for that specific shipment, at the end of the day, tracking information, packaging information, all of the relevant shipping information gets back into Acumatica, because typically when we have customers that are looking at Pacejet and Minisoft, there's some level of trading partner or EDI compliance that is needed. So it is extremely important that our customers have the ability to get the information they need back into Acumatica so that their EDI vendor can then pick that information up, generate an ASN. So it really is designed to be as end-to-end a solution as possible. And thinking about end-to-end, I want to just talk a little bit about how our customers have used both Pacejet and Minisoft in the past. If you think about it, there's three primary pieces that they're looking at: trading partner compliance, EDI custom documents, omni-channel drop shipping compliance. It's really, Pacejet and Minisoft are really tools that are used by our customers to make sure that they can automate as many aspects of the shipping tracking, and document management side of things as possible. Think about the overall cost savings on the labor side of things. Our customers on average will see up to 70% labor cost savings in comparison to having manual processes. Really what we're thinking about there is, instead of going out to carrier websites, instead of programming API calls yourselves to carriers, rate shopping and shipping execution is all done within the Pacejet interface. We connect directly to those carriers. If you think about managing documents, sorting through stacks of paperwork or stacks of packing lists, all of that is automated with Minisoft. If you use some of those collate or duplex forms, there's no matching that's needed. So not just on the shipping side of things, not just on the rate shopping side of things, but also on the paperwork and the organization side of things, everything is automated, everything is compliant, pretty seamless to be able to really reduce the total number of minutes or hours that your users are spending on the shipping and printing side of things.
Yeah, and I might add, Steve, too, that professional services and those kinds of costs that, especially for folks that are trying to build these things from scratch, the beauty of having these template libraries, these hundreds of labels, these hundreds of laser forms already pre-built, pre-designed, pre-built, and off the shelf, really cuts down on the cost to go live, to go into production with multiple forms and labels. So it's a major cost savings. These are libraries that are accessible by our eForms customers. Really, the ability to just select, download, and then take it live is a wonderful savings in time and of course cost.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And Pacejet and Minisoft right now, we've got over 25 combined customers, quite a few users, quite a few different use cases, and different shipping scenarios managed. So you can be confident that if you do have let's say an odd shipping scenario, or really you can be confident that the vast majority of shipment types and scenarios can be covered with combination of Pacejet and Minisoft. And again, on the Pacejet side of things, you get the immediate access to the up to 70 different carriers, parcel, freight, and 3PL. And as Doug mentioned a little bit earlier, we are both certified Acumatica solutions. So you know that not just for the shipping execution side of things and the printing side of things, that things are going to function well in both Pacejet and Minisoft, but correct information is getting back to Acumatica, and you know that you're not going to run into any issues from an integration perspective there. So we thought we could take this time here now to open up the floor to the group and see if there are any questions.
Yeah, and while we're waiting for the questions too, I would say, Steve, that the solution itself is not just shipping from warehouse. We have a lot of customers that are shipping from store. So buy online, ship from store, or buy online, pick up in store. We have a very nice solution for that as well. So oftentimes the document that ships from the warehouse isn't necessarily the document we want to ship with from the store, and we can accommodate the differences quite nicely.
Doesn't look like we have any questions here at this point.
Well, I think we talked about parcel, right? But there may be some questions surrounding freight. I think we talked parcel, but Pacejet handles freight really well. So if you have a trucking requirement, Pacejet has an answer for that as well.
Yeah, that's correct. And if you think about it too, it's really the parcel, freight, domestic, international. There's a lot of functionality with those carrier connections on the Pacejet side of things. Let me go ahead and we'll go ahead and wrap things up. So you can see here, we've got contact information from Mark Skelly and Miranda Dowler. Those are the two reps, Mark on the Pacejet side of things and Miranda on the Minisoft side of things. Those are going to be your points of contact for direct sales for the Acumatica integration. So if anybody has any questions, if anybody wants to explore things in more detail on the Minisoft side, if you want examples of some of those templates that they have, or if you want to talk about some of the messaging functionality, feel free to reach out to Miranda. If you have questions on the parcel, freight, the carrier, shipping, rating, execution side of things, feel free to reach out to Mark. We can set up a conversation, set up a demo. Before we wrap things up here, Doug, anything you wanted to add?
Well, I was going to say we talked a little earlier about a document we could send to anyone that's on the call. That would be a list of our dropship packing lists, our compliancy labels, nice little PDF that summarizes all of the different documents and labels that we have in our template libraries for drop shipping. So if the audience, anyone in the audience is interested in receiving that, just reach out to either Mark or Miranda, and we can get that off to them. In addition, we did show off some of those integrated documents, those multifunction documents, both the laser form collates as well as the duplex pack slip, thermal and laser labels. If anyone in the audience is interested in the business process benefits of those, we're happy to send a sample. Actually, it's multiple in the sample we would send of the documents, so people could actually see them and actually apply them to packages and actually see how they would work. So we're happy to provide that as well.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. We appreciate you joining. Hopefully this was a helpful look. Again, if there are any questions, reach out. We're more than happy to get you some more information or have a deeper dive to answer any of those questions that you may have. But again, I appreciate everybody being here. Have a good rest of your Tuesday and have a great rest of your week, everybody.